Hey there guys, this is Flamzeron, aka YouTube's Tosuke, and this is the Tales of Symphonia Dawn of the New World Final Thought video. This game came out in Japan before Vesperia, but it came out after Vesperia in the US. And so, to many fans, this game was probably a little bit of a disappointment. I mean, the game did pretty well, but only because it was looked at as a sequel to Symphonia. But for one thing, this music, the fact that they, didn't use the original song or even an instrumental, they just used like some orchestrated music, kind of like they did in the first one, which I think is the reason why they did it in the first place. Yet at the same time, it can be looked at as being pretty lazy compared to, Vesperia, which was, like what every localization should be. But overall, this game wasn't that bad. There's just a few things about it that I don't particularly like. To start off with, though, my favorite character is Emil. I mean, there really wasn't anyone else for me to choose from. I mean, Richter doesn't stay in the party for, half of it and whatnot. My second favorite's probably Lloyd, though, because I like how he's more mature and he's more of an adult. And Dex, he's like probably my favorite villain in this. I wish he actually had joined the party. I was expecting him and Alice to join the party, but no. Good old Emil in his Radtosk mode, which friggin' goes around turning evil. Friggin' Johnny Young Bosch mega mode. There's Richter. But yeah, as I was saying, this game wasn't that bad. There's just a few things wrong with it. Like, for one thing, I didn't like how you could only choose to, like, play as the, new characters as opposed to Symphonia characters. Like, what I mean by that, like, you couldn't, like, select them to, like, be your main person. Like, you couldn't take out Emil or Marta. You had to have one of them, in the party. You couldn't, like, choose, like, to have, like, all of the old Symphonia cast, which sort of makes sense. 'Cause, the game is like it's like a new game. It's like a different cast and whatnot. Before I continue, I have to say this video isn't mine. In fact, none of these videos are. I just kind of got them from YouTube and put them together. I think this video belongs to that Omega Force X guy or something. Regardless, it's not my video. It's one of those people who always like records video game footage because it's like the coolest thing ever. This is English dub though. But yeah, you had to like either have Emil or Marta in this, and that was kind of dumb.
The demons are using all the power they have to open the door. Here, use this.
I also didn't like how there was like such a gap of time in between attacks. You had to like wait a little bit before you finished a combo, and that kind of sucked. I know that the Symphonia characters had skills for that, but and the new Lloyd.
Yes. That's right.
But like, I don't think the regular characters like Emil and Marta could get. I know the Symphonia characters could.
It will help keep the door closed for a while.
I wasn't too thrilled about Kyle Hebert or whatever, being Richter. It fits, but I wasn't really used. It was sort of odd to hear his voice coming out of that character's mouth.
Then it's possible to seal this door without Radtosk being present.
And speaking of voices, I liked Lloyd's new voice. I liked all the new cast, actually. I think everybody did a good job. Like, for one thing, Regal's a new guy, didn't make him sound like he was some gruff monster. He actually performed the gentle giant that Regal is. And Lloyd's new voice does fit because he's older. I got really annoyed at everyone's like, oh, I hope Scott Menville comes back. And it's like, he's not coming back.
In the end, I wasn't able to defeat Radtosk.
If he doesn't return for like 2 games, he's not going to return for this one. The entire cast is new, everybody. Get over it, and they're all good. You guys just can't get over the fact that, it's not Scott Menville. I'm not saying he's a bad voice actor. I'm just saying that Lloyd's new voice actor, Brian Beacock, did a good job as Lloyd for this time. For a mature Lloyd, he did a good job. I'll admit that for a younger Lloyd, like for a Tales Symphonia Lloyd, as opposed to a Dawn of the New World Lloyd, he didn't do that good of a job.
What's the matter?
But for this, he did a good job. Holy crap, he's possessed. Strangle!
Now nothing can stand in my way. Once I bind Aqua to my will, I will regain all of my power. Now, hand over Aqua's core!
I can't breathe. Emil.
I said, hand over Aqua's core right now!
Emil, why are you doing this?
I am not Emil. I am Lord Ratatosk.
And then I remember there was like a big boss fight between like Marta and Lloyd. I must say though, I did kind of like Lloyd's role in this, since we're on the topic of Lloyd. It was because he was more mature now, like I've said, and he's like, he was smart and he kind of had, he was sort of like the Kratos of this game, in my opinion. Slightly.
I'm so sorry. It seems Various' protection can stop me from disappearing, but that isn't enough to stop Ratatosk.
No, you can't give up.
Why won't you stop interfering? Help me, Marta. Please. You've got to stop me. Turn me into a core and use me to seal the door. Stop it. I won't let you. This is it. I can't hold myself back any longer.
Poor old Emil.
Please. Marta.
Those are really my only gripes with the game. In conclusion, you know, the game was good, it just had some faults to it.
There. I finally got you out of the way. Now, hand over Aqua. Emil, no!
Fina!
Come back to your senses! Emil! Shut up! That sappy little wimp is gone for now!
He was a bit of a wimp. He kind of matured up. He was sort of like Ruka in Tales of Innocence.
No, I just want...
I just want your
What?
cock.
You wanna fight me? How amusing. I thought that you didn't want me to disappear either. Now be a good girl and give me Aqua's core. If you do, then I just might spare your life.
No. I'm going to fight you instead.
What
This
did
is
you
also the
say?
first Tales game that had like a major love interest and did it to the point where like that was actually part of a...
Defeat you.
Cause you know, I know how like in Destiny, friggin' Stone and Richie get married, and I know how like every Tales game has love interest, and how
That's a
Tyr
lie.
says "I love you" to Luke at the very end.
Stupid humans are ridiculous.
But in this one, it
I
was
warn you, you'll regret
it was more like, you know, there was actually a kissing scene that you didn't really see, and whatnot, and one like at the very end.
Sonic thrust! Tiger blade! Raging beast! It's over!
9,000.
Raging beast! Double demon bang! Raging beast!
Like I said, this isn't my video. I'm guessing the guy wants to do the regular, so he's letting himself get killed. Yeah. I think I tried to fight them a little bit, but I couldn't, so I decided to just go along with this. I chose this video from this guy because I got this ending. I know there are multiple endings, but you know. But you know. Rain and Genus going back to voice acting for a little bit, they were obvious. Colette was the same. I think Presea was the same as well. I couldn't really tell.
There